Okay, sorry. Somebody brought food and I just had to get some of that, man. Haven't eaten anything all day. I was starving. What? Oh, we hit. Nice, nice, nice. So what that means is I can shove Nephany and she can try to get this kill instead of having to have Marcia fly over there and do it herself, which is great. The rest of these losers I'm not really that worried about. I can have Stefan chip this guy down. Question then becomes, how do I deal with this guy? I guess I could just have Marcia do it. Nothing else is new, right? Marcia putting in work, who would have thought? And seeing as these Dracos don't seem like they want to move. Yeah, they don't have to move if they don't want to. They are quite beefy. Only level 12, but they have 15 defense. You learn a thing or two, Jill. Jeez, Louise. Yeah, I guess I can do that. But first, let's shove Neff. Move her over here. Take back our God Lance. And pray for the best. 74% of the time this works, and it does. Amazing. Please get strength. Apparently enemies are really fat in this game, so strength would be nice, but that... Okay, sure. Defense? Okay. You know, I've seen worse. I've seen worse. Probably want to heal Marcia before we get too crazy out here. Dang it, man! See, that's the thing with Stefan. He just kills everything. He's not very good at playing along, man. By the way, I think that did actually use multiple uses of the Silver Blade. That kind of sucks. What kind of damage does... That's actually not bad damage. That's not bad damage at all. So what I'm going to do is I'll weaken him with Tormod. I dealt 11 damage, so this is fine. Weaken him with Tormod. And Aster can get another... Well, yeah, another level up. There we go. Aster's not that hard to use. She's really not. Unless she doesn't get strength, of course. Then it becomes increasingly more difficult. Speaking of which, thank you, Astrid. I guess I had that coming, though. Shouldn't have said nothing, man. So let's heal up Marcia. I like how they haven't given me a Horse Slayer. I had the poleaxe, but I thought I was going to be able to trade in between battles. But I wasn't, of course. Yeah, you know, with how powerful these enemies are, I think my best bet is really just to arrive. I think so. Huh. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that, actually. Kind of disappointing because I'm passing up a lot of experience by doing that, but my guys just aren't powerful enough to really go toe-to-toe with this many units. I mean, Titania and Marcia are, but I've brought more characters than just that. And I don't really feel like babysitting right now, so I think I will just go for the objective. Move in, Jill, I guess. She's gonna be fine. She's fine there, so I might as well get the experience. Oh, or that could happen. That could happen as well. Not like it matters. I only have to survive one more turn, so whatever. Whatever, game. That is a cool skill animation, though. I really like the hand axe version. Oh my lord. Yeah, Titania is just way too broken. I didn't double? Oh, of course. That makes sense. That makes sense. Fortunately, I have the Javelin in reserve, so it's fine. Even the Cavaliers take 2. Well, in theory, they take 2. Gotta remember who we're dealing with, of course. I don't like that those Dracos started to move, though. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. We should be able to manage, but... Crit? No, just soul. There goes the Javelin. Just in time for the... Aw, man. Worst case scenario. Worst case scenario. Now I don't get any damage on that guy. Or this guy, for that matter. Come on, Jill. Where are your glasses? Where are your glasses, Jill? Ugh. I think this is the part where I run away. That's a lot of guys. Yes, sir. Oh, nice of you to join us. What? I have to fight already? The vacation was far too short. Maybe I can just hide in the back. You don't take, Magalov. Is everyone alright? Hang in there. I'll be with you in a moment. Yeah, see, that's how a man does it. Take notes, Magalov. So Oscar's here, which is good. Not necessarily for this map, but for the next one it'll be useful. This looks like a bad situation all around, does it not? Let's see, I don't really want to trifle with those guys. No real reason to. I'll just have Marcia kill the bow one, because, you know, I don't like 2-range. I don't like 2-range. Bow users tend to be much better as enemy classes than as character classes, and this game is definitely no exception. Now, because of the swampland, I'm really only facing these wyvern knights. They're still pretty powerful. Still pretty powerful, yeah. I don't really want to mess with them too much. So we'll back up a wee bit. Let's see. Titania's got these guys on lock, sort of-ish. But not really. I'm going to use this time, actually, to re-equip myself a little bit. So I want to take the javelin. I don't think that I can run away from these guys entirely with her, but that should be fine. And I definitely want Braum out of there because he's going to take way too many hits. Way too many hits. Yes, the Paladin is still able to attack her. That's fine. I think I did that right. Yeah. So we're going to move in. Anybody need healing? Jill needs some healing, so we can do that. Astrid's gonna chill. Same with Stefan. I'm not worried about Stefan in the slightest. Not even a little bit am I worried about Stefan. Yeah, this is looking like a wrap. This is looking like a wrap. I will say this would be much harder if you were trying to kill all the enemies, but I don't feel like you're intended to do that. It just doesn't seem like the game really expects you to do that. Especially considering how you can fly over the trees like that and everything. It just seems like this was intentional. So instead of trying to kill everything, I'm just going to kill what I can. Get whatever experience I can. Hey, Jill's actually a little bit stronger than I had realized. Marcia is exactly as strong as I had realized. Go ahead and get one-rounded, kid. Okay. And we should be able to seize really, really easily. The enemy's going to go back and try for Marcia, I guess, but he's not going to make it. He's not going to make it. Maybe I milk this for one extra turn just for a little bit of extra combat experience, but I do have to think about the bonus experience as well. Really, they're all just going for Marcia. Why? I mean, I know why, but it's like... It's a losing battle, man. It's a losing battle. It's really interesting that there's nobody actually guarding the arrive point. You'd think there'd be some kind of boss, but really there's not. I suppose this would be much more difficult without any flying unit, but if you're playing Fire Emblem without a flying unit, what are you doing? What are you doing with yourself? Wow, they really did. They all ran away. I guess they figure with a small army they might have a shot against Marcia, but they don't have a shot against Marcia. They don't. 2 experience. Fantastic. Yeah, they're all coming this way. Here's where I kind of wish I would have brought Volk, but I don't think it's really feasible to deal with all of these units and also steal the physics staff, you know? Because you gotta figure, he's just kind of constantly be stealing, or not stealing, but healing all of the Paladins and the Cavaliers, and they're all really fat, so killing them is already a nuisance as it is, let alone dealing with the fact that they're going to be restored to full basically every single turn. Yeah, easy kill for Ike. Easiest kill for Ike, but I should probably try to give it to Makalov. But I can't give it to Makalov because he's garbage. Even Nephany is one-rounding them. Okay, Nephany. Maybe Oscar? That'll do, Big. That'll do. Although I am facing weapon triangle disadvantage, I believe I forged a good amount of hit on the Cypher. Oh, okay. Well, that works too. Never mind. He didn't really need experience anyways. I mean, he's only level 10. There's got to be some scenario here where Makalov gets a kill. There has to be. I just got to find it. Oh, hey. Yeah, Astrid's... Not bad, Astrid. Not bad. Not bad at all. I'm just going to use the killer bow, though, just to conserve on my pew-pew. Maybe we should have had her kill the paladin, looking back on it. Just because, you know, more experience and whatnot. I could just throw Marcia here for one more turn, just so I can play a little bit of cleanup with these guys. Don't want to do that? Kind of. I kind of do want to do that. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I'll use Braum for this. He gets a level up from this anyways, and then Makalov can actually kill something for once in his life. Sounds like a plan to me. Sounds like a plan to me. That's a good level up. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, please. More of that. More of that. Every time he gets defense, he gets substantially less killable. Is Iron Sword enough? Yeah, I doubt it. I don't even know why I asked. It's never going to be enough. Magalov's like, well, there's my work for the day. Phew, that was tough. No, fuck you, Magalov. Don't really need to attempt to kill that guy. I could, but, like, why? It doesn't really gain me anything. I have to use the farm stick for that. Interesting, interesting. I'll just take a steel spear instead. Yeah. Want to conserve on our forges as much as possible. I have a feeling we'll be breaking more than a few of those by the time this map is over, so... Titania one-rounds him cleanly. Of Tormod versus Jill. Tormod is so bad right now, it's statistically unlikely for him to be this bad. Well, probably not. He's probably dead average, to be perfectly honest. I'm just getting kind of tired of his crap, man. He needs to get speed and magic. I can't believe he hasn't hit magic a single time. He has not hit magic a single time. And that's what's really killing him. That's what's really killing him, man. I guess I can give it another go. Jill's getting pretty close to a promotion, though. I mean, I'd much rather have her promote than have Tormod continue to be average. Sorry to say, my dude. Whatever. He'll redeem himself. He'll redeem himself. And at the very least, he's a 7-move mage, which is cool. It's a really cool idea for a unit. I like it a lot, but he's just not doing as well as he could be. I don't think I can actually kill anybody else. So I'm just going to heal with Mist, and then I will arrive at the point. Astrid, that works. So this map, not too bad. Honestly, the first one's probably worse. Unless, of course, you don't have a flyer, in which case... have fun, man. Have fun. Oh, we finally made it. Let's split up and search the surrounding area. Commander, do you think we should call more reinforcements? Sure, why not? The Duke's army seems nearly limitless. I don't know where that came from. The Duke's army seems nearly limitless, and I'm worried about our weapon situation. Let's do it. Couldn't have said it better myself, like. So now we're done with Chapter 17, Stage 2. You didn't think there would be just 2, did you? Hey, what's this? What is it, Commander? Look here. This is the only place in these ruins where I've seen healthy grass growing. You're right. I wonder why. And I found this. A white feather? So we were right. The heron is around here somewhere. It's possible, but... Ike, over here! What now? I'm so sick of this! Nasir, what have you found? Blah, 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 blah. A heron! Reyson looks more feminine than I remember. JK, it's a different heron. So, again, I have no idea what she's saying. I'll know later, but for now, she's... I don't know. That's a girl. Well said, Ike. Nasir, you said that the male heron we met was the only surviving member of the race. I believed it to be true. To find another survivor. It's a miracle. Hey, wait, please. I must speak. Back the fuck up. I assume that's what she said, and then she passes out. Come on, wake up. She's lost consciousness. I guess there's nothing I can do but wait for her to come around. I wasn't trying to frighten her. Gosh, Oh! I found you at last, my beautiful treasure! It's about time you showed your bloated face, Duke Tanis. Oh, no mistake about it. That is a spectacular work of art I paid so much to obtain. You still claim ownership, do ya? Well, let me show you a thing or two about that. No, wait, something's different. This is a female. You mean to tell me that yet another lives? How spectacular. Men, bring me that heron, but do her no harm. You'll never have her. Can somebody say escort mission? Oh my... Yeah. Oh dear. Oh dear. That's a lot of characters. That's a lot of units. Oh god. Oh no. Again? Will this corpulent windbag never learn? Form up, troops. We must protect the heron. Escort mission! Reinforce. Let's go. So now we're going to bring Kieran, and I think Soren. I think Soren can join us for this day. Boyd. Boyd is so bad, but I'm going to do it anyways. So for this map, Ike is continuously rescuing Leanne. You can't do anything about it. You can't give her to anybody else. You just have to deal with it. And it's a defend map. Oh boy. Oh boy. That is so many units. That is so many friggin' units. Oh my god. He's got 16 speed. 19 magic. That is no joke. That's absolutely no joke. He is not playing around. Look at all these magic users. I knew it was going to be a good idea to bring along the pure water, but good god. I could never have foreseen this in a million years. This guy dropped some men's staff. That's nothing special. We may want to push backwards and then set up some sort of line, I guess. The swamps sort of hamper their movement, so maybe we take advantage of that somehow. Marcia's not in a terrible position, actually, so that could play to my advantage, I guess. We do most certainly have to push left. There's really no alternative that I can see here. I keep thinking that I can reorganize my guys, but no, I can't, so let's just start. Let's just start and pray for the best. What's going on, y'all? This is Future Deltray speaking to you from, like, 2 days after this is recorded. Ooh. And I'm doing this in post-commentary. Now, I decided to do that because this map right here... this map right here. It's not the worst thing I've ever played. Let me just start by saying that. Definitely not the worst thing I've ever played, but it just really, really overstays its welcome. It's not really all that intensive on the strategy. It's just... It's a massacre, essentially. Marcia is going to kill everything in the southeast. Well, not everything in the southeast, but such a large number of things in the southeast that the rest of my units are able to gain control. And while that's happening, Titania and Oscar are going to clean up the northwest. And from that point on, the map is basically over, and I'm just deciding who I want to give experience to. And that is kind of the big issue with the old school Fire Emblem games. Now you can see here, well maybe not here necessarily, but during this recording that I'm speeding up, you will see me use naught but javelins and hand axes for the entire map essentially. Hand axes, javelins, and Astrid to an extent, believe it or not. She does pretty good here as well because she is able to retaliate on the mages from 2 range. Obviously she's not able to retaliate at 1 range, but she gets the job done. and she really appreciates the experience, as we'll see by the time this map is over. So, my big issue with this map is that, as I've said, the map is essentially over on the second player phase once you clear out the units to the northwest, and Marcia has weakened a sizable chunk of the units to the southeast. Now again, this is another map that might be a bit more tricky if you don't have a good flyer. Because of the swamp terrain, it makes it much harder to actually draw in that initial group of enemies to the southeast. So you would obviously want either Marcia or Jill to be good by this point, and Marcia is probably your best bet. I can't believe how easy it was to break her and have her break the game subsequently. But I mean, I talk about her enough, am I right? Jeez. So for the rest of the map, instead of fun or challenging gameplay, what you end up with is a javelin slaughter, basically, and oh god, it's a slaughter. These enemies are just not really all that strong. Now, they're numerous, don't get me wrong, there's tons of enemies. I'm sure you saw that in the opening crawl. There are like 25 enemies to the south at the bare minimum, with reinforcements coming almost every single turn. So, numerically, they have the advantage. The problem is that, of course, they're so weak that it's almost a non-issue to anybody who's not like Tormod or like Mist, or a unit that you're not ever going to be attempting to send out to the front lines, you know what I mean? Your frontline units at this point are so powerful and so much above par, or like above what's necessary to actually take on this number of enemies, that it just degenerates really quickly into a spam as many 1 to 2 range options as you can fest and just hope for the best. And it's not engaging. It's just not very thought-provoking or even really entertaining. This map is not very hard, as I've said. The biggest issue that you're going to face while playing through this map, in my opinion, is yourself. The hardest thing, or the most likely mistake that you could make, is just to get bored and forget to like check a range on something, or like, you know, I'm not really making very much sense. Let me try that again. The easiest thing to do on this map is to just forget yourself, to get bored with it, and just make a silly mistake somewhere along the way. Like allow a mage to attack somebody that you didn't mean to attack, or leave a flyer in range of an archer, or something like that. And it's not really something that I can say is a hard map. It's just a map that you just kind of want it to be over. So you kind of let your guard down. You might make a silly mistake somewhere along the way, and that's what'll get you killed. It's not the challenge itself that's getting you killed. It's not the enemies themselves that are getting you killed. It's not even their numerical advantage that's getting you killed. It's just lack of engagement that's getting you killed. And that's kind of disappointing. It doesn't really feel rewarding. It doesn't feel fun or satisfying to play out this map. It's like, again, it's not the worst thing I've ever played. It's not really all that offensive. There's some fun to be had in watching one character take on 1,000,000 units in a single turn. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand that. But it feels slow. It feels slow. And what I think would have been a much better way to do a map like this would have been to reduce the enemy density a little bit. You know, there should still be a lot, because that's kind of the point of the map. You start out surrounded. It's a defense chapter. Well, it's not a defense chapter. It's a survive chapter. But you have to defend Ike because he is protecting Leanne, right? So you have to protect Ike. It's sort of like an escort mission, but not really. You don't have to take her anywhere. You just have to survive and deal with the penalties and whatnot. And in order to make that challenging, there should be a good number of units. Don't get me wrong. I completely understand that. I get where they were coming from. I understand what they were trying to do. But, the fact of the matter is the map is trivialized by javelins and hand axes, which is a huge issue with a lot of old Fire Emblem games, to be perfectly honest. For those of you guys who came in with, like, Fates, to a lesser extent, Shadows of Valentia, I guess, and we're wondering, well, why is the javelin such a bad weapon? Why is the hand axe such a bad weapon? This right here is why. This map right here, this is exactly why they nerfed it, because this kind of thing is very common in older Fire Emblem games. All you really need is like a paladin with a hand axe, and you can basically win any Fire Emblem game. It's weird that people don't really talk about that too much when discussing the old games. At any rate, it's not very hard. What they could have done instead was, as I was saying, they could reduce the enemy density down a few notches. Maybe like, I don't know, 5-10 enemies less in the southeast. But instead of having many enemies, they could be powerful enemies, potent enemies, enemies that could really threaten even some of your more capable frontline fighters. Take, for example, how they do it in New Mystery of the Emblem. I think that game does a very good job of getting the enemy balance right. And I know some people would disagree. Fuck, I don't care. I think that game does a damn good job. And the reason that I believe that is because enemies in that game are constantly a threat. Take out, for example, in this game, it takes a ridiculously high number of units to KO even a single one of your players. Whereas in a game like New Mystery, you are constantly being 2-hit KO'd, 3-hit KO'd, 4-hit KO'd, maybe 5-hit KO'd at best, you know? And I feel like that goes a long way to make an enemy more threatening, and it makes the map in general more challenging. I think it would be better if each individual enemy felt like they could, in theory, take down one of your units, you know what I mean? Now, of course, you could say, well, yes, some of the enemies can take down a unit like Tormod, some of the enemies can take down a unit like Mist or Nephany, Boyd, you know, characters like that who don't necessarily have the best defenses. But as it stands, your frontline units are basically immune to death. There's no possible way that somebody like Titania is ever going to die, no matter how many enemies they throw at her, because she has soul, you know? A character like Marcia is never going to die because defensively, of course, I've given her 2 Drago shields and a talisman now, so you can't just assume that she's going to be that bulky, I guess. But my Marcia is so defensive that there's no chance that 30 enemies can take her down, you know what I mean? It's not going to happen. Whereas if the enemies were stronger, but not necessarily as dense, numerically that is, it feels like this map could have been a lot scarier and a lot more fun to play as well. Imagine instead of Marcia being 15, 16 hit KO'd or whatever, she was 5 hit KO'd. Now all of a sudden, I can't take out 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 enemies in a single turn because it's too great of a risk. There's a real chance that she might die, you know what I mean? And I really wish that more Fire Emblem games would have taken that approach. Now, you could say Conquest. Conquest definitely takes that approach. Sort of-ish. It's Conquest is kind of like halfway in between, I would say. New Mystery hits it just right, like I said, I thought. And Echoes, to an extent, gets it pretty well, I think. But overall, it would do a lot to improving the flow of this map. Because the reality is, you're spending 90% of your time on this map just during enemy phase, watching everything die. That's what this map comes down to. You're just watching things die that had no real chance of killing you anyways, and it's just not as good as it could be. It's just simply not as good as it could be. Again, just imagine how much more difficult this would be if I couldn't just use Marcia to immediately annihilate everything with 1 to 2 range action. Imagine if there were, like, I don't know, imagine if there were those soldiers that spawned in on turn 2. Imagine if there was like a horse slayer or something up there. And now all of a sudden, Titania and Oscar are in a little bit more danger. And they really needed to do that too, especially considering Soul, you know what I mean? They really needed a way to ensure that your frontline units were in any danger, you know? It just doesn't feel like they did a good enough job with that. And on a map like this, it really just hurts the gameplay a lot. It honestly does. It hurts the gameplay a lot. Now, I know I've been complaining about it for basically, I don't know, 10 minutes now, but that doesn't mean I hate this map or anything. I don't really think this map is horrid by any means. It was boring. And in some ways you could say that's worse, but for me personally, I'd rather have a map be boring than unbearable. You know, no shoveling simulators or walk around the mountain like you do in New Mystery, ironically. But I think we're just about caught up, so we're going to go back to the live commentary just about now. Alright. So she did. She got there finally. I can't remember exactly if each paladin gets a different promotion. I imagine they're all the same, so she's going to be a little bit weaker than I would like, but I'm going to give her axes anyways, so it doesn't really matter too much. Now this is a good Astrid though. She had maximum speed before promoting, which is just so good. So she's the fastest unit oh, she only gets +1? I feel like they do get different promotion gains then. Should I pick a swords? Yeah, that's it. No, axes of course, obviously. She has no need for anything else really. So Astrid manages to promote in chapter 17, which is pretty typical, I would imagine. Paragon is just such a strong skill. How many levels did she get this map? Like 3, 4, maybe even 5? I honestly lost count. Paragon is just way too good. It's almost impossible for any unit with Paragon to ever really be bad, just because they're gaining experience at double the rate. So it's like, speaking of gaining experience, way to go, Magalov. No, because they're gaining experience twice as fast. They essentially benefit twice as much as anybody else from getting a kill, so it's like, it has a tendency to really snowball very quickly compared to other units. I mean, somebody like Marcia is going to be great no matter what, of course, and she doesn't have Paragon, obviously. Ooh, was that A? That was B. Units like Marcia will easily snowball as well, but the thing is, it takes them longer if you're giving them just regular old combat kills. And the thing of it is, it's just not the same, man. It's just not the same. Astra gets like 20 experience a pop just from fighting, let alone getting a kill, you know what I mean? So you have to invest more in other units to get the same result. So, this one's finally over. It's a bit of a slog, honestly. It's not that difficult. There's really not a whole lot to look out for on this one. The worst thing that'll happen to you is you'll get bored and you'll make a silly mistake. Not that I would know. But it just seems to me that you're your own worst enemy in this map. There's not a whole lot to do once you've controlled that initial onslaught, which is really easy to do, provided you have at least one Titania and or Marcia available. If not, I mean, you also have Stefan. And if you don't have Stefan, you probably were using Oscar more than I have been, so he's probably a higher level. Like, you can see what I'm saying. There's all these situations where you're gonna be fine, you know what I mean? You're not really in danger of losing. It's more a matter of just keeping focus for long enough to win, I guess. Yeah, there's literally no way I can give this to Tormod, unfortunately. I don't have, like, a weapon that's gonna break or anything. No. Oh, I could use the Javelin. Can Tormod deal 14? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention, but it doesn't really matter. Now, when I kill this guy, is it going to end immediately? Because if so, then I could have I could have definitely ended this a long time ago, but I feel as though... Whatever, Thunder Crit, I guess. I feel as though you do actually have to survive the 10 turns. I honestly cannot remember off the top of my head. We're going to find out right now. Bring us home to Tanya. All in all, part 3, not very difficult. Again, provided you have at least 1 or 2 frontline units. Yeah, I didn't think it would end early. But it certainly takes a while, and that's a lot of units, is it not? Ugh, what vexatious wretches! I am overmatched! I can't believe I'm saying this, but there's another white heron! Retreat! Leave them their prize! Like a bitch. I'm sure we'll be seeing him again, though, don't you worry. What's going on here now? Blast! Ductanus has escaped again. He's like Eggman up in here, always just a little bit faster than you are, man. What will you do, Shall we go back and report to the Apostle? We finally got Ductanus on the run. I don't intend to stop until we've captured or killed that monster. It's your choice. My vote goes to kill. I'm sure we won't fail. Commander, if this battle is going to continue, I think we should get some more reinforcements. You're right. I agree completely. Whew. There goes stage 3. Now, on to stage 4. Now, this is the one where ordinarily, if you had promoted Soren and he was a sage capable of wielding bolting, you could do something pretty silly here, but we'll get into that in a second. Avoiding those human scum cost me time, but I've almost made it to the altar. Don't do it, man. Reyson, are you well? To Barn, how did you... Nilucci told us everything. Oh, allow me to apologize. I left on my own without a word to you, and this is what happened. As long as you're unharmed, all is well. Let's go home. Please, give me a little more time. I cannot allow these humans to remain in this forest. I understand how you feel, but we're completely outnumbered. Let us wait for another day. I don't know, Tavarn. Tavarn could probably solo the Grail Mercenaries at this point. He's really, really strong. He is incredibly strong, dude. Once I stand at the altar, I can take care of them. Every one of them. You can't mean. Are you thinking of using the forbidden magic? What is this forbidden magic? I honestly can't remember about this at all. Yes, I will sing those monsters the dirge of ruin. Are you mad? You mustn't. I cannot allow it. With permission or without, I do what I must. It is retribution for genocide. Retribution for this forest. Reyson, you must not let yourself be ruled by despair. Each member of the Heron tribe is an embodiment of balance. Do this and you warp your very existence. Oh, this is some serious shit. Oh, jeez. That's what they all said. I'll show them, though. My family, my tribe, and then they died. The humans were drunk with joy. They laughed. They sang. And then they slaughtered us like livestock. My mother, my brother, my elder sisters, and even my infant sister, Leanne, all killed in a single night. Oh, he doesn't know. Reyson. I know. This thing I intend to do brings dishonor to my house. And yet, I cannot forgive. And their past actions weren't enough. Now they violate the sanctity of the forest without a trace of regret. Accursed humans. I'll never forgive them. Don't you think we understand that? That's right. Prince Reyson, there's no need for you to reject your honor based on the likes of them. The tragedy of the Herons, the horror and pain of that night, lives on in all of us. Let's return to Phoenix and think of a plan. You are right. This will not stand. The full power of the Hawk Nation is behind you. The humans will pay. As you wish. Phew, crisis averted. I honestly forgot all about that. Yeah, the Herons are like incredibly powerful. It seems like they're very attuned to nature, so I can only imagine the kind of things they'd be able to do if they weren't pacifists. And, you know, all dead and whatnot. Enough already. Lay down your arms and surrender. We'll let you live. No, never. I'm not giving up. I'm not finished yet. Out of my way, penniless wretches. Your very existence is an insult to all that is beautiful. Oh, he's really lost it. All you really want is my wealth and my beauty. Well, to be honest, who wouldn't kill to look like Oliver, right? Dude's a G. Got that nice purple? Woo. I like it, I like it. Did I say? I don't think I did. Oh well, my bad. Oh, but I understand your emotions. Yes, how I do. How could you sad vagabonds not want to be me? I'm saying, though. Can we just... Silence! I'm not the one to be daunted by beggars such as you. Ho ho ho! In the name of the goddess, I, Duke Tanis, Oliver... I, Oliver, Duke of Tanis, will smite your hideous evil. He's got his eyes are looking low like this, bitch. To arms, defend me with all the strength you possess. Oh, and bring me the little bird that the blue-haired lout is carrying while you're at it. Oh, please. I think that's less than... No, that's certainly less than on the last one. That was a Falcon Knight. Whoa. Those are pretty rare as enemies, no matter what the game. Alright, here they come. Combat formation, everyone. That was rather short, but here we go. The finale. Defeat boss. I thought like Marcia started over here or something, you know? Because you just don't see these as enemies. It just does not happen. They don't look that scary. They're incredibly fast, so really I'm limited in how I approach them, and I don't double them with anybody except Marcia because she's just that good. These are generals, aren't they? Oh, yes, they are. Oh, yes, these are definitely generals. 22 defense, 12 resistance. Jeez. Another Falcon Knight. So here's Oliver. 30 resistance. Has he? No, there's no way he had 30 resistance. There's no... He had way less resistance than when I played this last. There's no way. This must be like a Maniac mode super ultra buff. And 34 luck? I do think he was always really lucky. But 30 resist... No. Well, that's a bummer, because I was going to explain this cheesy thing you could do with Soren. You can probably imagine, but Soren, if strong enough, with the bolting, can completely cheese Oliver. This is a defeat boss map. So if you have a Soren who has like 20-something magic, I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. But a respectable amount of magic, and C-rank Thunder, you can snipe Oliver right off the bat. And either you need like either a crit or an adept, but you can immediately end the map on the first turn, which is hilarious if nothing else. But he has 30 resistance on Maniac. So I don't see that working out quite the same here. But on hard mode, I know for a fact you can do it because I've done it. So that's interesting. They buffed Oliver pretty considerably. I don't think they've really buffed a lot of the other bosses too much, though. Which is interesting, because that means if they buffed Oliver, that means that they knew you could cheese him with bolting. Which means they knew how to balance the game. So on some level, they must have realized how busted Titania is, how busted Marcia was, and then they just said, okay, no, that's fine. But Oliver, no, you can't one-turn this guy. No, sir, he's got to have 30 resistance now. That's crazy, of all the things to change. This sniper over here has an adept scroll, hello? Well, that's pretty useful. Anything else? I should probably bring Volt to try and steal another physic. I don't know that I'll be able to do it, because I'm probably just going to snipe Oliver. To be honest, I could still just send Marcia, right? That's something I could do. I could send Marcia. Jill could back her up. No, this is a halberdier, never mind. I thought that was a soldier, so I can't really do that. Reinforcements, let's bring Soren, and I guess Zihart. Yeah, that seems decent enough to me. I also kind of want to get some sort of axe over to Astrid, just because she can use them now, and that would be just fantastic. Do I have a regular steel axe that's not in use? I don't think that I do.